A lot of people asking me about this election. Who do you think's going to win? What's going to happen? I mean, Trudeau's probably going to lose. Looks that way. I don't see how he's going to win without massive amounts of vote fixing and you know what I mean? He's getting booed out of everywhere he goes. Everybody hates him. And it's not because of his policies. It's because he's insufferable. It's because he's a scumbag. He's annoying. He's not charming. He's not witty. He's not funny. He's a spoiled brat, and he's an insufferable douchebag. That's why everybody wants him gone. A lot of people. And a lot of people that are now conservative voters, they think they're conservative. And they want Aaron O'Toole. Aaron O'Toole is going to save us. The conservatives, they're just liberals that don't like Justin Trudeau. You can't find, go to most places in Canada where there's a lot of people and be like, can you tell me the difference between a left wing and a right wing political position? Can you tell me what that is? Nazis and pride parades, or they don't know. A lot of people in Canada that are conservative voters they just want Trudeau out of there. And a lot of people, several years back when Trudeau got elected, were liberal voters because they wanted Harper out of there. You know, my dad said once, I'm tired of voting people out. Can't we just vote somebody in for once? Where was Aaron O'Toole? Where were the conservative? You know what he's campaigning on right now? Seniors' pensions. That keeping you awake at night? Canada? You guys worried about the seniors' pensions? He's talking about innovations in healthcare. Oh? Do tell, Aaron, healthcare? What do you mean, sir? You mean like the medical dictatorship we're all approaching? The Tapadakatas that have now prevented me. I can't fly to Nova Scotia to see my children anymore. I'm going to have to drive there now because of the medical dictatorship that's being imposed on the country. You can't take a train. How long till you can't go to a grocery store or enter this province or that province? Because of this madness. Where were the conservatives this whole time? The saviors, the pro-freedom nationalist Canadians, old school. They're not. They were wearing masks the whole time. They weren't out there at any of these rallies or demonstrations. They're not out there talking to people. They're not on Rebel News trying to help people, fight the fines or any of this stuff. They don't care. They're acting like this isn't even happening. They want to talk about seniors' pensions. Well, we're going to make some changes to the carbon tax. Our climate agenda is very beneficial. I don't give a shit about the climate agenda, the carbon tax. I don't care if you want to have a more diverse cabinet, Aaron. I don't give a shit about you marching around in high heels going to LGBT parades, bud. Nobody cares. I don't want to live in a communist dictatorship. I don't want to live in a medical tyrannical dictatorship. I don't want my children to live in a world where they're going to have state-mandated injections every so many months, or they can't go to their local public, funded indoctrination centers, which are now called schools. That's what's on everybody's mind. And you don't have the guts to even talk about. You're not even going to. No, it's not. And when they do mention it, you know what he said? Well, I respect the provinces. They want to have a provincial passport. This isn't a hard question, man. You're either pro-humanity and pro-freedom and pro-rights and pro-Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, or you're not. This is like asking if you think it's okay if Quebec, should have slaves or not. And your answer is, oh, well, if Quebec wants to have slaves, that's up to the provinces. And I don't really have an opinion because I'm a weak-kneed little bitch. No. The answer is no. The answer is always no. No to segregation, no to a two-tier society, no to a medical dictatorship. Period, end of story. How hard is that to do? He can't do it. You know what he is doing? There's 2 MPs now. The guy running in Yukon kicked out of the party. Why? Because he came out against the passports and the vaccines and all this shit. Bye-bye. Another one in Fort McMurray. He's going to quietly step down and not run again. Why? Same reason. And people think Trudeau's the problem. No. You want to get in bed with these people? You're going to the same place. It's Coke or Pepsi. That's what you're doing. It's always been that way. Especially the vet guys out there. You think they care about you? You think the Conservatives? You know these court cases the guys are still battling? You know the Conservatives were doing this, right? That's where the Liberals just are carrying the ball forward. The only sane option is Bernier's party. It's the only one. He's the only one saying anything remotely sane. And that guy, they ousted him from the party, remember? He should have been the leader. And there was some shenanigans, if you recall. Remember Andrew Scheer? Just somehow squeaked in there. The last minute. They even found the binders on the floor of the convention about how they were going to rig this with all these votes they bought to make sure they didn't vote Andrew in. They voted Bernier out because he wasn't on Team Moneybags. From what I can see, a lot of people are suspicious of him. I mean, why? Who isn't? Who wouldn't be if you got a brain? I mean, they're politicians. But let's look at reality here. Where is he allowed to go to the leadership debates? No. Why? The Green Party can go. Who's the Green Party leader? Does anybody even know her name? It's not Elizabeth May. Nobody even knows who they are. The Bloc Québécois can go. Francois Legault, is that who it is? I'm not even sure because I don't live in Quebec and I'm not part of the Quebec nationalist separatist party. Why the hell is the leader of a nationalist separatist Quebecer party in a federal leaders debate on how to govern the nation of Canada from Victoria Island to St. John's, Newfoundland? That doesn't make any sense at all. And why? And who is attacking Bernier? And the PPC. Same people that attacked me. Vice World News, Canadian Anti-Hate Network. They're a bunch of racist Nazis. Oh, that's interesting. Antifa, the woke mob are all over them. Why? If these guys were shills and they're like, they're just there to split the vote so the Conservatives don't win, then why isn't he on TV? Why isn't he allowed to talk to anybody? Why are they censoring everything? Why are they throwing him in jail, man? That doesn't make any sense. And it's not vote splitting, okay? The Conservatives aren't concerned. It's a name. It's a name. You know, like how they lie with words, like, it's about health. This is about health. No, it's about a tyrannical takeover in government power. You can call it whatever you want, but that doesn't mean that's what it is. And the Conservatives are not conservatives at all. At all. Why don't you go look at the platforms and compare them, and then go look at Bernier's and tell me you're not like, well, that is way more sane than the others. And the last debate, the leaders debate last time, they tried to get him out of that one too. And they managed, the guys caused enough of an uproar. They let him in. And what did they do? The Conservatives, the Liberals, and the NDP, they all just pointed at him and said, but you're racist. But you're racist. You're just racist. Aren't you? I heard you're racist. That was it. And then after the debate was over, because Bernier did get to talk a little bit, the CBC trends, the search results went like this. They skyrocketed. Why? Because people are interested in what he has to say. Because he's saying things that nobody else has the guts to say. It's tempting for people to want to vote. I got to get Trudeau out, get the Conservatives in. It's a false, it's fool's gold. It's easy. It's easy. Oh, we'll just get the Conservatives in and then what? You're in the exact same position. You think these lockdowns are going to stop? Nope. You think the passports are going to go away? Nope. It's cosmetic. It's a cosmetic difference. The difference between the Liberals and the Conservatives is a blue tie or a red tie. What color do you want to paint the door? It's the same goddamn thing it's always been and always will be. I'm not even going to talk about the NDP because they're just Last time, did you know the last election? And here's the thing. They'll tell you, you know what? I've been surprised. I'm watching the crowds and the numbers and everything, and you know the last election? Hot in here. Trudeau won the last election. Do you know how many votes he got? 6 million. That's it. You know how many people in this country are opposing mandatory vaccines and all this stuff? 6 to 7 million at least, estimated. In Nova Scotia, Elizabeth McCrossan stood up against all of this. The lockdowns and the passports and all that stuff. So you know what she did? She went out and blocked the highway. Took her constituents, because apparently there's no men in the Progressive Conservative Party of Nova Scotia, by the way. Progressive. Blocks the highway and is like, we're not moving until you open this damn border. And they did. She forced them to do something. You know what the Progressive Conservatives did? Kicked her out of the party. I'm noticing a trend here. Who else did you kick out, Aaron? Derek Sloan you kicked out. Jim Corralios you kicked out. I'm literally running out of people to name that you kicked out of your own party. Aaron O'Toole is Doug Ford. You remember Doug Ford? You remember we just got to vote. We just got to get Kathleen Wynne out. You got to get Kathleen Wynne out. Oh, we got Doug Ford in. We got the Conservative in. How's that working out for you, Ontario? Roman Baber is another one. How's that working out? You feel very conserved? You feel very protected by the Conservative government of Doug Ford? They're gutless cowards. This is the fight of your lives. This issue right now, this COVID nonsense, this is an excuse and a Trojan horse to bring in complete and total government control. You think you're going to stop? Where does it stop? It started with 2 weeks to flatten the curve and everybody went and bought toilet paper. Now, maybe we shouldn't let them have food or health care unless they get all these injections, which go on forever because the flu or the cold exists. Who's talking about that? Who's telling the truth about the most insane situation any of us have ever lived through, and probably in Western civilization's history? Only Bernier and his friends. You know, Randy Hillier, the Hilliers, Randy's daughter Chelsea is running in their area. There's a lot of people showing up. That's the issue. The issue is people don't want to live like slaves. And the pro-veteran Conservative Party, are you kidding me? Here's a story about how veterans feel. Quite a few of my friends didn't come back from that hellhole, and that's just my generation. And previous generations, we grew up on the fairy tale, apparently, that our way of life is that we're pro-individual sovereignty and freedom. And we don't segregate our society into different groups of us and them, and the clean and the unclean, and then mark them with stuff. And then talk about what we should do with these other people. Does that sound familiar to you? Does this sound like the values and the society that these guys died for? Doesn't to me. You know who's okay with all this? The Conservative Party is. They want to talk about seniors' pensions and climate taxes. Maybe you'll get a discount on a new set of tires if you... No one cares. No one's staying up at night wondering about these things. Are we going to be able to travel to different provinces? Are we going to get our goddamn lives back? Are we going to be able to keep our jobs? Can our children live unmolested without being poisoned by some kind of giant pharmaceutical company's experimental product? These are relevant things that everybody in the country is worried about. Aaron. And anybody that speaks up about it is kicked out of the party. And where is the woke mob exactly? How come they're not attacking the Conservative Party? You don't see that. Where's all the anti-hate articles about the Conservative Party of Canada? Huh? Weird. They're two sides of the same coin. They're owned by the same people. They get paid by the same guys. The leadership convention when O'Toole even won the damn thing. I was like, how did this happen? He was installed. He's the safe choice for the people that own the party. There was a problem with the voting machines for 3.5 hours, remember? And everyone in the whole conservative sphere, I was watching. Aaron O'Toole won. Everyone's general reaction was, well, I guess this is what we got. I guess it's Aaron O'Toole. We're going to have to get behind him. I mean, that's, no one was happy. No one was celebrating. That's a red flag. If you think you're going to help this by voting for them, you're not, man. They're tricking you. They're lying to you. They're liars. It's what they do. They're professional liars. And this election's going to happen one way or another. It's vote, don't vote. It's happening regardless. Maybe you believe it's all rigged. Maybe you think it won't matter, or maybe they're just going to steal the votes and move everything around. Well, then make them. Make them. Don't give them an inch. Don't give them anything. I've thought about that before, and I was like, there wasn't anybody worth voting for. I don't consent. I'm not going to vote for the Liberals, the Conservatives. None of these people represent me. They're all trash and garbage. This guy, I'm at least going to make them steal my vote. Make them do the work, if that's what they're going to do. It'd be interesting to see the numbers. You know they're polling nearly the same as the NDP in Alberta? There's a reason CBC doesn't show you any of this stuff. That the Liberal government gave them another, I don't know, tens of millions, $60, $70 million. But they won't tell you which journalists. Does the Conservatives care about that? Nope. No, they're not talking about that. And when it ever does come up, the pandemic, you know what they say? They don't say, this is all insane. This is crazy. This is fucking nonsense. That's not what they say. They say, Mr. Speaker, Justin Trudeau's response to this pandemic has been substandard. And if I was Prime Minister, my vaccine rollout would have been far superior. Oh, you would have been better at implementing the tyranny. Is that what you're saying? You would have done a better job at controlling the population and taking away our choices and our rights and sovereignty over our own bodies. Is that correct, Pierre Poilievre and the rest of these clowns? They want to play it safe, and they want to pretend like it's the way it's always been. Nothing weird's going on. Let's just talk about safe things, like seniors' pensions. Like there isn't an existential threat to our entire country and way of life right now. Let's pretend that. So if that's the kind of person you are, if you want to be scared, and you want to hide and pretend everything's okay, and go support these losers that have done nothing but lose. What have they conserved exactly? They're losers. They have no vision. They have no passion. They got nothing. What have they conserved in the last how many decades exactly? We just lose and lose more rights. They don't oppose the Liberals at all. What do? They sit there and they do this. Oh, sick burn on Trudeau, though. And when something this crazy happens, it's global. Look at Australia. You want to live like that? You can't even buy food in certain supermarkets in France now if you don't have a vaccine passport. They won't even talk about this. Shh. Seniors' pensions. I'm not a fan. I don't like to hang with cowards. And they're doing it deliberately. They know what's going on. They choose not to say anything about it. Does that not alarm you? You trust these people? Well, he said they're gonna... Oh, did he say? He said he's gonna do things? Where were you? It's been 18 months It's been 18 months. Did you see Aaron O'Toole at a single one of these rallies? Did you see him talk to a single person that lost their businesses? What did he say anything to Doug Ford? Hey, maybe don't send the fucking entire police department to crush a guy's barbecue. That's crazy. Nope. Nowhere. Didn't say anything about the passports in Quebec, or the madness in Manitoba, or the new shit rolling in BC. Well, I mean, I support whatever you want to do. I mean, I don't really have an opinion because I'm just a puppet. I'm just a middle management nobody. The hell with the Conservative Party, man. It's enough. Yeah, somebody said vote PPC or don't vote at all. Yep. That's where I'm at. This is our last chance. This is it. This is for all the marbles. This election is it. If there's not a huge pushback, I mean, you know what happens next? If there's not a substantial, and I don't think they're going to win, but there's a chance they could get a lot of seats. And if there's not a substantial resistance, some kind of organized federal people that are saying, no, you can't turn this into a communist country, that's what we will be, because the liberals are all about it, and so are the conservatives. Never mind the NDP. They're lying to you.